Oh, it's dead. What do you mean it's dead? All right. Dead. D-E-D, dead. Well, I can't believe you're dead. You had so much to live for. Dead. Hello. I'm here to say dead. All right. Here. Go to the old YouTubes. Volume down. Of course, there's an ad. I get to skip the ad in 15 seconds. Cool. All right. Let's see here. I think that's good. I wouldn't see why that's not good until 5 seconds from now. And I can look to see if the camera angle is off by just a hair. Okay. Now the biggest thing, I'm going to adjust a few things. The biggest things I'm adjusting is I want you guys to see as much of the table that I'm rolling as possible. So there is, once again, in craps, if you sit here and have somebody that is telling the truth, then they don't mind showing everything. And one of my biggest things is I want to make sure that everybody knows exactly where the line is. So as long as, let me see here, I'm just going to use this as a reference for myself. I'm going to put my chip halfway between the pass line and the rail and see if I see that. Because really the only thing I'm worried about is anything down here. And let's see what happens. Oh, baby. Okay. So let's do right here. See if I see that. This is going to signify, I'll just know mentally like, hey, I did, I went too far and you can't see it, and I'll be really gentle with the stick. You won't see me finagling things. Ooh, just barely. So let's just do right here. See what happens. I think that's going to be close. If not, I'll tell you. Oh, baby. All right, so that's right there at the line. Bring it down just a little bit so I know that's where it's at. Also, if somebody could comment something, that'd be great, so I know that my comments are turned on. I think they're turned on. Connecting the live chat. Cool. Looks good. Shallow just said something. Boom. I even got my glasses on so I can see everything. Alrighty. A little stick. Alright. So, really simple. Biggest thing that we're doing is I'm going to the casino tomorrow. So, as much as I do love the $1,000 bankrolls, this is going to be a $5,000 bankroll, $10,000 bankroll. $10,000 bankroll. I'm going to do a $25 table because I want to prepare for the worst if the worst should happen, and it's a $25 table. And yes, it's going to be a $25 table, $10,000 bankroll. Only reason it'd be $5,000 is if the bank won't give me $10,000 for them, which sometimes the bank does, sometimes the bank doesn't. It's kind of catching the air. 5,000, they always feel good about, but 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, usually they like to give a little bit more time than today. So let's start this out easy with doing, now let's just do 4,000 right there. 2, 4, 500. Let's do one more to make it 6. 700, it's off. 800. 900, that feels like 100, 2, 4, 5, 25, 50, come on, fingers, you do forearms. Yeah, it is 100. Okay, so we got 4,000, 46, 47, 48, 49, 5,000. I'm just going to take $10 off and get 10 whites in there. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. And this video is going to be a little bit longer. Hopefully I'm going to do an hour, maybe 2 hours. Just depends on if my phone charges that long or if my phone charge lasts that long. And the reason why is this is going to be a two-parter. The reason why it's going to be 2 parts is I want to do the video, do all the profit or whatever, and then I want to come back and do more of an interview style, which I should be able to do. We're just going to see if I have to break that into 2 videos and go live immediately after, or we need to do X, Y, and Z. I don't know yet because I don't know YouTube, so I don't know if it allows me to do stuff like that, but if it does, yay. All right, so we got 2 dice. Let's try to put that in the boat. Get some, I did black and red like in 2 videos, so let's do green and blue. Green and red, black and red, or I did black and red, black and green. I've been using the midnights too much, so let's get rid of these. So let's do green and red for black. All right, so $10,000 bankroll, $25 table. The maximums at Cherokee or Harrah's or anything in North Carolina is 5,000, 7,000. So when I say that, it's $5,000 max bet, 7,000 max payout. I'm going to run with that, and we're going to see how that goes. I don't think there'll be any issues, so without further ado, let's just get into it. There is a $25 chip over there inside. It's just for my camera angle, so we're going to let that ride. All right, realistically, even though I bring a bigger bankroll to the casino than I preach, the reason why, it allows me to be a little bit more aggressive, but the true reason, even though that aggressiveness of 10,000 should not affect the, I wouldn't say it does affect the 20% rule, but it doesn't affect your profit margin. When I say that, is like, you want 20% at 5,000, I am essentially effectively playing with 5,000. 10,000 is extraneous circumstance. So, like I said, there's a reason behind that. But I also do love, like, $30 6 and 8 is a lot easier than $18 6 and 8 because you deal with less singles. So right now, coming off the gate, new shooter, got new dice. Actually, let's go ahead and, that's not on. I already got tape, that's not on. All I'm doing is, the point was an 8. I'm just rolling until I get to a 7 or an 8. 7, boom, first 7 rolled. Okay, points off. I'm coming up. Players finish point, $30 6 and 8. She working. And let's go ahead and see how she runs, huh? 8 pays 35. Points an 8. Turn this off. I want to press the 8 by $6. And like I said, this is going to be a little bit different. If you have questions, feel free to ask, number 1. But a lot of this is me practicing, like at a casino. This is how I would play. And this is kind of like knocking off the dust to make sure that, number 1, I still remember how to do everything, the levels in which to do everything, and going like that. Which, like I said, should be relatively easy for first 4th run. Like I said, I'm not trying to do anything different. I'm not trying to change anything. All I'm doing is the same cookie cutter stuff I always do. Ooh, that's the first dice that rolled past the hook. That is going to be a 10, doesn't matter. It wouldn't affect anything. I have no bets on, so just throwing that out there. I also want to see the hook to see how much action I get, because I think that was a little bit still off. But I want to see if it made me get anywhere better. I think my TV is just a little bit slow, because there's a 6. Let's see what happens again. Sorry for the break. I know I apologize, but there's a 4. Should be a 5 next. 5. Boom. I like it. Next one. You cannot see that. Okay. So just make sure to keep on this corner. Hey, that's the first 10 thrown. That's a boxcar 12. Doesn't matter. I do love the fact that 6, nothing on the sticks. I do love that the better internet that I finally got is a hell of a lot better for quality. So guys, even if you're following along, I have to pause it a lot to see where our second 4th thrown, that you guys can see it a lot more clearly, and I like that. So 5, again, hot shooter, guys. And see, this is something that, like I said, 10, second 10 thrown. Coming into a casino, for me, at least with 10,000, 6, I'm just like, great. The longest roll in history on my first roll. But you know what, though? You make $35 the first roll. So realistically, you can see it for an hour. $35 an hour ain't bad. Hey, that's pretty good in my opinion. So, don't get bent out of shape like, I'm missing so much money. Like, dude, you made your money on this shoot. You made $35. And it gives you useful information because it's data. Ooh, look at that travel. That's an ace deuce for a 3. Like I said, enjoy, I guess, the little, look at this, still 6. Not a lot of inside numbers getting thrown. Not a lot, oh, 8 point. And that gives me a little bit of knowledge. You know, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm sitting here, it's off. I'm sitting here, he just rolled 1,000 years and made the point. So based on what this next point is how I'm going to approach this. You know, 11, page right here, doesn't matter. Based on this, I might just do a straight don't. 5? I love me some 5s. 5s on a hot shooter? Absolutely. $30. Nickel and dime, dude. Nickel and dime. See if this shooter can make me $50. Boom! 7. Look at that. Pays $20. Literally, that one shooter, even though you think, oh, so many missed opportunities, that one shooter made me $55. Like one shooter. That means realistically, by 20 shooters, I've made $1,000, which is what my goal is. That's pretty good. That's 2 orbits around the table. And I didn't do anything. Like I said, nothing to be done. I feel like that's going to get burned out. 12, I'll lose 25 right here. I'm going to turn these off. I'm going to run a straight don't. I've been doing this, my first lot. What's up, KG? I've been doing this recently, purely out of 7. Purely out of the fact that I get lazy and I just don't put the pass on it for push 12. So now I'm down 50. So still I'm up 5, down 50. Business as usual. I come out 7. Ooh, 2 come out 7s. So theoretically still at 5, but I'm going to consider the loss on that 12 and 7 as one big loss. So now I got, oh man, like dude, you're down like $105, something like that, 50. 60's 110 plus the 116, I'm down. Oof, that hurts. But I'm just going to say, you know what? We're going to take this like we usually do, which is these are $90 6s and 8s. I'm just not breaking them down. That's a 10. All right, so instead of being down 110 and saying, I'm going to ride this $90, which is 180, and put 360 right here after 3 7s, I'm going to put it in more, this is my very second shooter. I'm going to put it into realistic terms. I'm like, all right, well, 6 and 8 working, and put 102 right here. Mentally, I know I'm into this gambit for $116. Okay, that's a good thing to remember because you're like, all right, 116, got it. All right, first 4 have been thrown. We got 1 4 and 110. 6 pays 35. So let's just bring the 116 and make it 115 because we're not going to go crazy. So now I'm only down $75, okay? So boom, turn off. Bring this down. I'm going to reduce this to just $30. Oop, I'll put that black chip over in the freaking singles. Come on now. 7 out. All right, these are off. 15, just pay myself in the right place. So 15 gets paid, okay? So now 75, 65, I'm down $60. Okay, shooter's busted, that's off. Ooh, for $60, I'm just going to juice $30 6 and 8 to a $60 6 and 8. And you see that even though I didn't purely recover, I nickel and dime and got back my profit, plus sat here and made more safe decisions that allowed me to be more at ease. 9, now with a 9, that's 60 and 60 for 120. If I pay 150, that's 100. And do 30 pays 20. So if I do 180, which I'm much more inclined to do versus 360 on a 9, let the 6 and 8 run for 3 rolls. 9, all right. Let's see, 60, 160, 210, 240, 240 down. I'm just keeping mental track of it. This turns off. Point becomes a 9. Oh, sorry. Made a 9. Click. Boom. Let's take this down. And let's go to a pure is the first point made, so I'm going to be a little bit more cautious about my ramping because this is a 260, even with 10K. Come on, I said 10K and I don't even have 10K in chips, Charles. Great. I don't even think I have enough 10K chips. Let's do this. Just because I know I want to sit here and do this now, so let's deal with it later. Blue chips are $500. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. There's the other 5K. Put this behind this, or in front of this. Now I have 10K. Before I do anything, did I roll anything? No. Okay, so here again. 5. I feel a 5. 5 on the outside liar, just let it roll, man. Like, you got so much going on right now. Like, don't try to complicate by squeezing the juice out right here. Just sit here and say, okay, I got 260 on a 5. 10, should be the second 10 rolled. 7 out. Look at that. Even if you had extra odds to hedge this, to ramp this up, it never would have happened. You rolled a 10 and then 7'd out. So 260 pays 260. And just like that, guys, we're back on our merry way, up some profit, got some hundreds in our band. In fact, I'll clear this, I'm just going to grab it another 100 of this. So, and once again, it's the whole concept is to not be aggressive. Make stabs, we make good decisions, we make good decisions, but at the end of the day, on and working, you don't need to sit here and just be high octane the entire time. You're gonna kill your, oh, 12, well, cool. Dealer error in my favor, shooter. Come on, man. That's happened a few times before where I've just had the same offsetting and then I didn't realize it. And turn this off. The dealer was like, you let him shoot without having to bet? He was like, oh, I didn't know. 6. Notice these are off. It's just usually after one roll, especially a third shooter, maybe a fourth shooter. I'm not here to reinvent the wheel. I want to see at least 10 shooters so I know what's going on the table. I mean, we had one big roll at the beginning and that was it. You know, we had 3 come out 7s between the point and that's it. I don't have enough information. You don't have enough information. 9, all right, so we're going to continue on what we've been doing, which points of 9, $30, 6 and 8. Let's throw 90 on odds. And let's see what happens. Yep, 6 pays 35. Once again, that 35 an hour, you could sit here and tell me like, hey, you know, that's the only bet I'm going to get, 35 bucks an hour. I pressed it by 6, I came off, and then I'm just going to put, pressed it by $6. I'm off on these bets. I reduced my hedge down to $15 because once again, I'm not sitting here trying to reinvent the wheel. Little stabs, little stabs, little stabs. And the reason why those little stabs is once again has everything to do with just being comfortable, being conservative, being patient, not. So right here, I could have pressed these 8s and 6s and hit 2 more times, but at the same time, if I had done that, my $90 would have been lost, and the same money I'd have made here would have been washed on this 9, versus just making the $35 and reducing this down. So now I'm only 15 in the hole right here, so I'm going to take this, 15 for making the point, and just because 15, I can't put 20, I'm going to put 25, so I got 15 and 25 for 40. That's my total loss if I lose this too. 9, came back on a 9, I like it. $25 on a 9, cool, second point, let's see where this goes. 6 does nothing, because if I get this back, I'll make 35 from the initial hit on the 6, and then I'll make another $10, because I only lost 15 plus 10, so I'll make $45 a shooter, which is right in line, boom, 7 with what you want. Like, that's what you, $50 a shooter? Dang, dude. Can I get that in writing? All right, turn this on. 3 does nothing. Boop, boop. And I turned it off. The table looks great. I've been traveling the DGE way back machine to 2020. Yeah, 2018 was a real, like, that was a fun time for DGE back when I had just a table and I was just dropping it on. Because, I mean, I don't believe dice throwing. So to me, shaking it like this and dropping it right here is the same as throwing it down the table. But aesthetically, it looks a lot better. For a long time, KG, believe it or not, I used to have this AK-47 ammo crate full of vodka. And I would clack the dice onto that ammo crate a long time ago. But now it's a little bit better. And then I went to a foam pad, just on a dining room table. I went from a kind of a more in tune setup place as we went. This is like the second table now that I've had. And I'm going to keep this one for a long time, I think. You know, unless I beat the brakes off of it realistically. Whoa, 7. That is a 0.7 out and then a come out 7. So right now, 50, 60, 65, $66 is out the door. $6 was a press, so $60 out the door. So let's just put a $60 6 and 8 working. No sense in getting ridiculous here. But fat 6. Hopefully y'all see that on the sticks. Fat 6. So 60 pays 70. So now that 66 loss made $4 already on the shooter. Point goes over here. I'm gonna reduce this down to a $30. Idiot. $30 6 and 8. Take the rest. Take it back. Fill up the rack. Doing nothing else. I don't do nothing on a 6 and 8. Why? Why would you? Deuce, you already made your money. No sense in making money twice. That is a 6 point. Alright, so come here to there and doing nothing right now. The Frigidaire way. 7 on the come out. Remember, good temperature gauge when it comes to craps. On a long shooter, you can always judge temperature because if there's come out 7s in between points, it's usually a good indication of a lot of rolls. 2 7s on the come out. Well, I'm not going to sit here. 2 7s in a row. You got to turn the girl on. 5 does nothing. And now, even though it's on the second point, I'm still going to turn this off. Even though there was 2 come out 7s, it's all about being conservative. $15 odds on the dome. I've seen the ammo crate. I'm using a poster board layout drawing of the coffee table with Andy Griffin in the background. Heck yeah. Yeah, KG, like, I mean, realistically, on the grand scheme of things, I mean, before I had anything, I would take a deck of cards and just put the card 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. And I would 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I'd have that card laid out like these, and I'd take the Ace of Hearts as the pass line sideways, and I'd have Ace of Spades sideways because that's my pass line. The back of the card is a lay, the card itself is a buy, and I did that for, a good while. Because why would you waste money? Your whole purpose of learning craps is to make money in craps, not spend money in craps. 8 does nothing. At least that's my argument, at least. My whole life is to sit here and make money in craps, not spend money in craps. But funny enough, KG, in the 5 years of playing craps online and YouTube, I think a subscriber gave me the fire bets, a subscriber gave me the puck, a subscriber built me the table, a subscriber bought me these on and offs. Like, the only thing I bought here is the chips. And I think even the dice. Yeah, the dice someone gave. I think I bought Midnights, but other than that, that's it. 6 does nothing. How long we been going here? Probably 10 minutes. We're only on the 5th or 6th shooter, so I'm only up like $100 on a 10K bankroll. We're gonna make $1,000 by the end, so not very long. 6 can't peel off a 5 to save my life. And right now, like I said, this right here is the hardest thing for a lot of players. It's just hard, especially if you're doing a lot of don't and waiting, or turn off one roll and turn off. Like, that right there kills bankrolls. Because people get greedy, they get bored, they get greedy, they get stuff, which is kind of ironic in my mind, considering that most people, when you talk to them, the whole goal of like the side hustle of life is passive income. Passive income, passive income. To me, when you make the $35 as the first roll, that's your passive income. Let it be passive. 5, point made, finally. Same logic, I'll lose 15 off there, and we'll come down off these. I'm just going to put a 25, even though I'm supposed to do loss plus 5, who cares? You know, we're at a $25 table. 6, coming back to a 6. I'm actually a little bit leery of the $25 6, but for these purposes, we're going to keep it going. The reason why is, number 1, it's the second easiest. We've had a lot of come out 7s. The cluster 7s have been pretty substantial. And even though it worked out for me this time, you always want to think about the 3rd, 4th, and 5th thing that you want to do. So come out 7. We had 3 come out 7s before this. I feel pretty froggy about it. $30 6 and 8. Let's go. 8 pays 35. And like I said, guys, I know this seems very slow and methodical, pushing about $6. But I don't really get churning with butter, if that's a word. I don't really churn. I mean, I don't sit here and get kind of hyped until my bankroll gets at least $200 to $500 profit. What's up? Leroy Ledbetter. Matthew Ledbetter's cousin. If you guys are a little older, I know it sucks, but I did say dealer error on the 12 when I had no bets out there, and I, obviously got not lost on that. Here I am adhering to that. I know it sucks because you're like, DG, you never do that. I'm like, I know. But I have to sit here because, unfortunately, guys, there's a tons of times at the casino where I forget to turn off the bet, or I forget to turn it on, and they're like, hey, you didn't quick declare it. I'm like, I've been saying this shit for 2 weeks. Turn it off after the first roll. But they're like, oh, unless you declare it, it's not our problem. I'm like, okay. So I'm giving myself that, even though that is technically, I wouldn't do that, but whatever. From Gaines, Vegas, Leroy Ledbetter. I bet you Leroy, you ever heard of Jerry Clower? I bet that's too old. Well, you guys are pretty old. Like I said, my general base of subscribers is older than me. So maybe you guys know about old Jerry Clower and old Matthew. No, it's not Roy. No, who is it? It's not. What's the brothers and sisters' names from the Ledbetters? I think is it Roy Ledbetter? No, not Roy Ledbetter. I mean, come on, man. Roy Ledbetter? That doesn't even sound right. What was the Ledbetters called in Jerry Clower's stories? Shoot, Marcel. That's who it is. Yeah, I know Jerry Clower. Marcel Ledbetter. My name is Marcel Ledbetter. 8 does nothing for the great state. All I did was put $15 on a no 9. And once again, like, there's tons of times for you to get froggy, to let this run, the 6 and 8 run forever. Don't be that guy. Like I said, just sit here and nickel and dime until you get a couple $100 up, and then you can sit here and make moves like that. And the reason why I say that, guys, I got $10,000. I'm not playing. I literally stated in the first part of this video, I'm playing to practice. This is not me just teaching a lesson. This isn't me doing. This is me practicing for tomorrow. So I always like to practice my bankroll before I go to the casino. So you're watching me literally say, okay, like, what is my plan at the casino? Now, obviously, DG hasn't set limits, and I mean, by God, I'm the creator of it, so I guess I should know my limits. But it's not really this, at least this gambit, the press 6 and 8, that gets in my heart and gets in my mind. The biggest thing is essentially, number one, let's talk about things I'm bad about. Let's talk about DG deficiencies. Well, DG deficiency number one is that I tip dealers a lot of money. So I gotta also be mindful of like, hey, I don't wanna start tipping, that was a 7 out, 15 pays 10. I don't wanna start tipping until like I'm up a couple hundred, just because, oh, Donnell, Udell, Clovis. I forgot about, Uncle Vert, I really say, I can't believe I forgot about Uncle Versey. Oh, Uncle Versey. You guys don't know this, but Uncle Versey was known a long time ago for hunting. Had beautiful hunting land in Macomb, Mississippi. And once upon a time, a city slicker came down in a full LL Bean suit and said, I want to shoot with you. And Jerry Clower pulled a trick on old, this Hollywood, if you will, this Hollywood suit. And said, hey, ooh, that's bad. I didn't offset there. It's me talking, not understanding that. Turn off. And let's just put $20 down. $20 in the bill. And so Jerry Clower walks into the house to Uncle Versey, and Uncle Versey crying, whoa! Oh, Jerry, you need to help me, son. And he's like, what's wrong, Uncle Versey? I do anything past Virgil. You, Uncle Versey. And he said, it's my cow. She got to be shot. It's just time. She's old. She's been doing a lot of good things. We got to shoot the cow. And please, I can't do it. Please, Jerry, can you shoot my cow for me? I beg you. He said, you start crying. And Jerry Clower's just like, I'll do it, Uncle Versey. I promise you I'll stay here and do what needs to be done. I hate that I got to do it, but I'll do it. Well, about that time, Jerry Clower gets a smirk in his eyes and then a glint in his smile. And basically he says, I'm about to have fun with this city slicker. And so Jerry Clower comes out of the house. That's $60, $70 lost, 72 technically. 2 of those were presses. So all I'm going to do is come into a $60 6 and 8. Still working. And so Jerry Clower's like, I'm going to have fun with this city slicker. So Jerry Clower busts out the house. I mean, kicking the dirt, brain cut. Man, woo, that's so-and-so. I've been hunting here for years. He tells me I can't hunt his land. I'm going to show him. And so Jerry Clower reaches out and says, I'm going to show him right now. Get in the truck, oh high society. I'm going to sit here and show you today. And so Jerry Clower sitting here kicking dust, doing everything. This is a $90 6 and 8 working. Kicking the dust, doing everything. Walks out, boom, boom. Shoots the cat. Well, about that time, when he turns around to see what that city slicker's going to do here, boom, 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 boom. He's like, whoa, 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 what are you doing? He's like, Jerry, Uncle Versa treated you so bad and you looked so distraught, I went ahead and sat here and shot 2 more. And that's the story about Uncle Versa. 90, what does 90 play, 102? I'm going to say 102. So I'm down $90. Technically speaking, I'm technically down 102, but why do I think that pays 105? Let's see here. 105? Help me out, guys. All right, well, 30 pays 35, so 90 is 15. So yeah, it's 105. God, man, that's some weird math. All right, so obviously, you know, I lost a $30 6 and 8. I did a $60 6 and 8. I already screwed up. I can already tell you. I lost that, and so that's 180 that I lost, not 100. Man, all right, it's whatever. So that was a miscalculation on my part. I put too much money on the don't to allocate the 180 I lost because I put I just dumped this, but I just put 360 here for the 180. But I didn't have 180 out here. I just had, no, I did have 180 out here, but it should have been 180 first and 600 right here. Somewhere around those lines, whatever it is for the math to be right. So that was actually my mistake. See, this is why you sit here and you shut up and play craps. Okay, so let me think about this. So I made 105, I'm down 180, so I'm 75 down. And we'll cut the diff and just put 50 in pyramid here, and we'll nickel and dime it, guys. Like, there's no reason, because it's a misclick. And DGE is known, it's a progressive bet system, number one, if you want to say that. But at the end of the day, like, I mean, you got to sit here and play what you play. So if you make a bad bet, you know you get paid off, you can't force the bet into something else. So right here, down 75, I lose the 50, point got made, so I'm 125 down. Oof, that hurts. Well, this is me, like I said, I'm just playing what I usually play at the casino. I'm just gonna put 125, Eugene. Put 125, whoa, 7. So now I'm down 250. Man, let's get a little froggy, huh? Let's just see what happens. 240, 6 and 8 working. Let me put this right here in case some ridiculous things happen, which I don't think they will. All right, I gotta be gentle about this. We're gonna sit here and do this very methodically. It's a 6, but I wanna sit here and go, I gotta sit here and do this just perfectly. So I make sure there's no shh of that, like fine line. All right, so based on 6, 240 pays 280. And now in your mind, you're like, well, hold on, Charlie, you were down, let's just say $125. Now you're down $250. And then you ramp this. At the end of the day, remember, DGE is all about, DGE is 100% about recovering, making stabs when you're supposed to. So in this instance, you're like, what signified the stab here? Because now the 0.6, you're in between points, you're in between this and that. Why are you turning on? Why are you turning off? Well, the answer is simple, is that, okay, you know, DGE is all about look at the macro, look at the long rolls, look at everything else, but then you gotta also look at the micro strategy as well. After every 7 or 2 7s, you wanna see you do a 6 and 8 working. Well, 2 7s or a 7, regardless of what's happening in the macro, the number of rolls and tosses, I'm like, okay, well, let's think about this. I'm in between points. The point was a 4, he made that. He did a come out 7, and that hurt. And I'm like, okay, I can either ride the don't and see what a come out 7 becomes, but it's still the second point. Or I can see him take a stab on a come out 7, boom, to the 6 and 8 with a higher pass and don't pass, because if I lose it or it turns in somewhere else, I can take the same 250 loss and do odds, because I have bigger chips out here to do a bigger odd stack and make that determination. So right there, I made the 6 and made all my money back. Well, now we're on the second point. If it was a 10, I'll reduce this down, offset it, made it, and start chipping away like I've been doing in this video. But this one just happened to pan out correctly, and I was able to make that decision at that amount, 250 or 500 right here, because I have a 10K bankroll. 5K bankroll, I can't make that kind of bet. I'd have to do like a 120, 6 and 8 working and try nickel and dime. It just would take a different aspect of this. Like I said, you think about bankroll management, betting management, patience, how much money you have, what's the next 3 bets that you need to make in your system. All these have to just culminate together into how you make these decision processes. And the problem is, guys, I'm stupid. And when I say I'm stupid in the sense that the reason why I know this is not because I'm a master, mathematician. I'm not a master statistical guy that just aced everything and MIT came out and says, I want to make money. It's the sheer number of, it's every concept that your grandmother has told you since the day you die. Is that, hey, eat your meat and potatoes, be humble, be moderate. And think about it from enough accounting, I can tell you right now, like a lot of this strategy, this system is just simply, hey, don't freak out, don't be greedy, wait, take your time. If you're not taking your time, then you're not doing it right. So, and then for me, in the system of DGE itself, you're like, well, okay, this giant system that takes people up to a year to really get the hammer down on. And I'm like, well, guys, like, I'm not lying to you in the sense of like, I just rolled a bunch. So where my expertise comes is not really, now you're not talking to Georgia Tech graduate Chuck here that's telling you, hey man, I learned on a piece of paper that you're supposed to have your foot in right here. What I'm doing is I'm mainly just saying the craps aspect, instead of you talking to a Georgia Tech graduate that knows the rules in the math, you're talking to a 30-year electrician who's been doing it for 30 years, who has the knowledge because he's like, hey man, how do I know this isn't gonna work? Because I've done 17,000 of these, and I just know that's not gonna work. Now you're trying to explain to me how this is not gonna work, and I'm like, okay, whatever, but this is it. So by pure repetition, it's just helped me become better. Thank God you're not Tech, right? Yeah, I didn't go to Tech. Theoretically, now my school doesn't even exist. I went to a school called NGCSU, which is North Georgia College State University, but now it's just called UNG. So my school doesn't exist. It got consolidated. I just went to a state college. So we ain't got that Georgia Tech Athens money. Nah. Second point, it's 9. You know what? Nickel and dime to save the rhyme, especially on a 9. So let's just put $15 down. I mean, we're not here to make a kill. Here to make a living. Any thoughts on place betting the 4s and 10s instead of lays on them after so many rolls, not seeing them after 2 7s come? It's funny that you should say that because I do have a strategy called the 4-10 place bet strategy. It's down in the depths of the archives. That was when I was doing a lot of videos and challenges and telling people like, hey, they said create a DGE strategy that has no darts, pure lays or pure places. And I did. And the reason why I'd be doing this, here, I'll actually do it for you right now. Now, you did say one correct thing, which is place, not buy. I would never buy the 4 and 10 ever. But I would do something, and I might bankrupt myself doing this, but who cares? So $25 from the 4 and 10 is going to continuously work no matter what, okay? All right, that's a bad representation. Chaos always breeds bad patterns. Do not think that happens all the time. Like, I was fully prepared to ride this out and never get paid. Okay, so that's 10, so it gets paid 45, right? I don't know why I just drew it from there. That was stupid. Pays 45, and I'm going to just click it back. It will never change. That amount will never change. 6 does nothing. 9 does nothing. 4, Jesus. This is not the norm. I do not. This is why I don't like doing pass line. This is why it's so hard to bring out a strategy video when you do live rolls. Because this is not an accurate representation on the frequency at which you're supposed to hit 4s and 10s. This is the best scenario. But I don't want to, we're not getting into that. I'm not going to sit here and say nothing for nothing. I'm not going to say anything. And what you're going to do is, now that you've hit twice, I should have said, every time you hit, you just add $5. That's it, $5. Okay? You're going to see why in a second here. All right, 7 out, perfect. Okay, so I've lost the $25 on the 4 and the $25 on the 10. You never have to worry about anything above the 25 because you had to make every 5 that you put down is 40 that you clicked back. Okay, so just get that in your mind. So I've lost all this, Cabemo, Caslamo. Okay, so now all you have to do is, because I kept hitting, you just reset. There is no anything. Now the difference is if nothing comes. 4. Not the norm, okay? Not the norm. Prefacing this right now, this is not the norm. So, click back 40, like I said, for every $5 put in there. So let's say I never hit this 10. Well, if I never hit the 10, and I just lose that $25, what I would do is always loss plus 5. Yeah, so where it pays the amount you have only hit less time, I don't know what that means, but yeah, so I never buy the 4 and 10. And the reason why is because you pay the dollar on 25 because you get paid 2 to 1. It's a 5% tax for you to get paid 2 to 1. Now, when you look at it straight up, you're like, well, okay, 9 pays 5 or 5 pays 10 with the dollar. That seems better. But it doesn't, because you have to pay that bet. Also, you have to pay that bet regardless if you win or lose. So what happens is you're supposed to lose twice as much as you're supposed to win. So that right there is you're actually paying $2 per, whatever, $2 per bet, theoretically, if you're doing the implied odds. Okay, so watch this. Lost the bet. So you're like, okay, you lost $30 here. That doesn't matter because I'm just going to come back with 25 because I've made that. I pressed that. Now I lost 25 here. I never hit the 10. So all you do is loss plus 5. And that's it. And when you hit it, you're still getting your 9 to 5 on that $5. So now for every $5 you do your loss plus 5, it makes back all your money plus the 9 to 5 ratio, which is pretty pimp. I love it. It's volatile. 7, but at the same time, I'm just like, eh. So I've lost 25 and 30 for 55. So you put 60. Lost this. Put 30. Lost 25 total. And we're going to keep doing this until it reconciles back out. Okay, so I just want, this is like a break time. I'm just going to show this little dingy. This little dingy of a dingy. 4, okay. I don't even know, guys. Like, what's 25 pays 45 plus 9 is 54. So now I get paid 54. So you see right here, $54. So what did I lose here? Well, I lost 25 bucks. So you see how exponentially this can go down. So I hit this. All I'm going to do is move this over to the 10. I'm going to click back this profit and just call it a day. So let's see, no tracking the numbers at all. Theoretically, now this is me talking, this is Charlie talking about DG. Now let's talk about DG, the person as a strategy maker talking about the strategy. If it was me, I can do this because I have a 10K bankroll and I can run these all day long, memorizing them because I can memorize the rolls because I know the betting amounts. So that is whatever. If it was me talking to the average citizen, okay, another 4. The only thing I would say to you is like, hey, I would 10. Okay, so 50 pays 90 plus 10 pays 18, so 108. So 108, well, I'm going to take it back. So I'm going to do this with my chips to see what I lost. I lost 25. Then I lost this, and then I had this as the bet, which was $60, okay? So this is me kind of thinking. So let's just take that 1 off this so I can take that back. So you see how the loss plus 5 on the 4 and 10 is so much more juicier because y'all only lost 55. I'm putting a bigger bet out there
But I mean, at the end of the day, 50 just yielded me 108. 55 just yielded me 108, with all things considered. So just little things to play upon. I don't really play it. Why? I don't know. I just don't believe. I mean, realistically, if you ask me, like, well, Charlie, you just made like, I don't know, $100 right there. I'm like, true. But there's also been tons of times where you never see it 4 and 10. And, you know, my entire strategy. Why did I take the puck off? It's a 9. My entire strategy is built upon dice out. Is built upon. Hey, look at that. It would have been a 10. My entire strategy is built solely on the fact that I'm playing with the house, the other 10, and doing things very much in line with the 7, which is the most common number. So anytime I deviate from that, develop from that, derail from that, detour. Whenever I take a detour from that concept, it's usually because I'm doing something that mathematically has more favor for than just a natural 7, which is, hey, you're working a 6 and 8. Well, that's not, you're going against a 7. I'm like, yeah, but 7 is 6 out of 36 for odds. This is 5 out of 36 for 8. So right now, my bet, I am taking a 10 out of 36 odds versus a 6 out of 36 odds. So I'm a 10-4 favorite to win the bet. So you see how even in that betting scenario, you're like, all right, well, mathematically, that is the better bet. Because I'm not trying to hit it and stay up. I'm trying to just hit it and go from it. I'm just switching over to make sure I'm live, which I wasn't. All right. And make sure my video is live so I don't see comments that are 10 minutes late, because this thing already has like a 10-second lag in case I'm a terrorist. So I have to like sit here and say, okay, so if my TV gets off, I'm like, well, now I'm like 20 seconds behind. But yeah, and see that concept right there? The 4 and 10, that is KG. That is it. I think it's KG that said it. But yeah, that's it. I mean, it's nothing fancy. It's just loss plus 5, which you should know if you know the don't pass on it. And that's it. And let's just go ahead and do a check real quick, because I always like to do checks. 4,000, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. So that's 10,000. So I know I got 200, 300, 400, maybe $410. Ain't bad. $410 ain't bad at all. So, like I said, you know, in this journey of betting, you know, it always needs to sit here. Gosh, what a... Sorry, a little neurotic here, but it's okay. All right, bring this forward. In the grand scheme, so I'm up $400. Did I say $400? 400 some change. So I'm 40% there on my $1,000 goal with a $500 bankroll. And if you guys have noticed, I have not once dipped under 5,000 in my progression in order to make that money. Essentially, if you really think about it, I've done all this with, I think, less than $1,500. I think. I would say 1,000. I know that $500 right here, 246 and 8, down 250. So yeah, I was 750. So I mean, I think I've done it all under $1,000. But that's not what I'm preaching. What I'm preaching is this is how I play it. And like I said, you know, it doesn't matter if I take 100,000. It's probably the table at that point creates an atmosphere where I'm like, it doesn't matter how much money I bring. I run into max bet issues versus bankroll issues. So kind of a save right here. I took everything down. It was a big roll. You know, I did a lot of moving parts. I explained a lot of things. And you notice that even in that conversation, I pulled everything down. I did not just ramp up like, oh, I made this money, boom. You know, the reason why is because all I was doing for that 10 minutes was tracking the 4 and 10. Not how hot the shooter was, not how many points were made, not how many come out 7s were happening. None of that. The only thing I was focusing on was the 4 and 10. Well, here I am, pull everything down, wanted to see what's going on, and look at that. A 0.7 out happened and a 7. So now I got 2 7s. What do we do? Wash, rinse, repeat. That's 30, 10, 20, 30. This is also, I'm kind of getting the keys to the chocolate factory. If you do this enough times to a dealer, Charlie, could you talk about being new and what I should log in a notebook and reflect about what I'm seeing and what needs to be recorded? Yes. All right. First trick right here, if you keep giving them reds and whites, they're gonna look at you, take that back, and do a color up yourself. Like they try to keep it simple too. So that's a kind of an inline way to color up, you know, food for thought. Okay, so 7 out, I got this notebook. Let's see here. So the biggest thing about the notebook, let's see if I have a notebook I can show. I do. Let's see if I have, here you go. I'll be back in a second. I need to get a marker. I have a marker right here. Let's see. Oh, I do have a marker. Okay. So all I'm going to do is show you a blown up version of what is on my notebook when I go to the casino. It's really easy. It's a 4 and 10, just like this. Over a good match, you like to talk and I like to ask questions. Yeah. 4 and 10 like this, okay? And all I'm doing is just tracking 4s and 10s. When the shooter's done, I just took one line across it so I can still see the clusters and numbers. And then down here, I mark how many points have been made in a certain shooter. And now I talk about how much money am I into a gambit. So I'll do this as a test run to kind of show you guys. Like, hey, all right, so I'm working. 7, perfect time to do this. So right here, I already know that I lost $60. I know my next bet is a $60 6 and 8. So now that's $120. So then I'll mark that off and go, I already know in the hole I'm down $180 because I'm going to just assume that I've lost the next bet as well, because you can easily scratch out what could have been. It's harder when you have 20 seconds between shooters and shots if you don't know what your next bet's going to be. So here it is, $60 6 and 8. Flip it. 7, perfect. So I see here and say, okay, I'm down 180. Well, I know $150 6 and 8 pays 180. 150 pays 180. I think so. Why do I not think that's right? Well, 18 pays 21. No, 150 is a 120 and 30. 30 pays 35. 120 pays 150. It's 175. Duh. So right here, I'm going to say dealer 150 6 and 8. Just because I'm making my math simpler to write down. So that 150 6 and 8 working, boom. So I have the 180, I just put 300 down. So now I know right now I'm at $480 if I lose everything, okay? 6. So right here it pays 175. So I know the 300 I did not lose because I'm taking that down. So I have 180, I pay 175. That's me. I told you that I do the amount so it's easier. So I take the $5 as a lot or as a wash. And there you go. So right there in that gambit, that shows that box. So let's see if we can't fill up some other boxes. 6. Boom. Yellow 11 does nothing. 6 point. All right, perfect. I get to fill up another box. So that's been made. So usually on film, I use a fire bet, which some places do that, but obviously, most casinos don't do that. You do the ATS, which is right here, but I just use it as my reference. So right here, put a fat 6. Now I put a dot after the point. Now if outside the point there's a 7, I will put a little 7 above that dot. 3, perhaps, pays nothing. 8. And once again, like you've heard me say this time and time again, that you get 2 points made and the points are 8-8 or 6-8 or 6-6. I'm more like, is that really 2 points? I mean, that's kind of like a just the tip game. Does it count? Does it really count? I don't know. It's just a tip. It's just a 6 and 8. So boom, put an 8 right here. No 4s and 10s have been made. 2 points, points off. Let's see here. 8 again. Now, once again, like I said, I'm conservative. This is $10,000. Tomorrow I'll have $10,000, okay? What would I put on this? $10,000 bankroll plus 400 bucks, so I got 10.4. I'd literally look at the dealer and I'd probably joke around, but I'd do this, look, $6. Just because. It's like, I ain't here to go crazy. Whoa, 7 out. Look at that, guys. Rack saved me. Boom, boom, $6 pays 5, boom. Still made $5 off the shooter. And guess what? That $5, what did that represent? It represented the $5 I lost on the 175 payout that should have been a 180 loss. You see how all that just mellowed back itself right back out. So now, do shooter. So I stay here and X out the 6 and 8. Haven't done a 4 and 10 yet, so I don't have to worry about that. And we're off the races. I've been getting killed a lot of come out 7s, so I'm just going to take a tick, take a couple shooters, and say, okay, let's see, make sure we're not losing the farm. And once again, like right here, you know, the $25 table, I'm up, let's just say almost $450. I'm not here to go crazy until I'm up like 500 bucks. So like I'm sitting here like, 20 bucks. Actually, I'm up 400. Let's do this correctly. $30, 6 and 8. I'm up 400 bucks. And we'll sit here and go $30, 6 and 8. That's 60, and we'll do a 120. 120 odds, working 6 and 8, points to 10. That's my first tally for a 10. 9 does nothing. And what am I really thinking about here? Like, what am I thinking about? I'm like, well, okay, we had about 17,000 4s and 10s earlier. We had a big cluster of 4s and 10s, and then also a bunch of 7s. So statistically, it sounds like it's all evened out anyway. Number 4. And, you know, realistically, every 4 is hard to throw before you get to a 7. So I'm looking at this saying, okay, I rolled 3 times, nothing has happened, I'm sick of it, bringing this down, turning this back into 20 bucks, my stab is over, and I'm just like now trying to just mitigate. Of course, 7 out, 20 pays 10, which is what I want to do in the original place anyway, so it doesn't, no skin off my back. Comes off, that's already off, here. Once again, 10 didn't get made. Just put a line through it, just like that. The Ronald Mineral, center field 9. Alright, so let's see here. Oh, when it rains, it pours. See, I just said I was going to take a couple shooters off. I'm like, it's been enough. And you always kind of know when the cluster is a 7's coming, at least I do, offhandedly, because once again, in my mind, do you need to log in non-fields? You can. I mean, you should just memorize it, but see, I already know, right here, 60, 120, 180, 300. So I already know right now I'm in for 180 because that's adding the $60 loss plus the $60 6 and 8 I'm about to put up, which I'm going to keep this simple and just do 120 in the middle, working, which is signifying a $60 6 and 8. I'm just trying to get a little simpler. Yeah, if you do the field gambit, you can. I'm not a big field gambit because I've realized over enough time that just you just waste a lot of times tracking that field when you could be tracking a lot more different things. I have the 10, in case anyone cares. Alright, so 10's the point. I got $25 here. That accounts for that loss on the 12. I got 180 out there, but right now I got 120, so 240 would be my bet. I'm going to stick to the 240 odds. The reason why is because I know I'm up 400, so nothing is outside the realm of my profit margin. 4 does nothing. Oh, actually, it does do something. So I got 110 and a 1-4. Notice that I did one line down because it's a different shooter that ran this. 12 does not. That's the second 12 after a 7, though, if anyone cares about those cases. Third roll, deuce. I'm going to turn this off. Okay, still down. Technically speaking, I'm down 60 bucks. But I'm going to keep these going because that's still live. And I'm just going to put 40 bucks on the don't. Let's just see how that goes. Dan Tan, Charlie, do you know JB? I don't know. I know a couple of JBs. Just depends on what JB you're talking about. All right, so that's 25. 40 pays 20. And so I'm going to put that right there, levels out that. And we'll take $20 So mentally, I know that myopia movie. No, I don't even know what that is. Myopia movie. I have no idea. So I made an extra $20. It shouldn't be there. So technically, if I lose this, I'm not down 180. I'm down 160. But that right there, I'm gonna say that's just a stabby. So we don't have to worry about stabbies. And just like anything, turn it back on. $60, 6 and 8. Work it. 7. All right. So once again, we know. So I just talked about this. So I'm down 180. So I'm going to do a 300. So now I know that if I lose that, I am down 480. Okay? So this 300 represents a $30 6. Sorry, $30. A $150 6 and 8. Okay? 10. Oof. Oof but oof. All right. That was a 7 out. That's another 10. Okay, let me think about this. I'm down 180. But 600 out there, I technically would only be down 300 on my original bankroll. But then I'd have to keep following that 6 and 8. No shooter has made more than a couple of points, but it's a 10. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off because I'm trying not to be aggressive. Like I said, it's all about having fun. I'm just going to put $200 in the dome as odds. Why? Just to take a stab, see if I can't knock this girl down a little bit. 8. That's stupid. But I didn't want to put $600 here to offset that because if I hit an immediate 10, it gets bad. 1, 2, 3 rolls. Just John had him on the show, on his show. Cool guy, he said. 4. He's a cool guy, I guess. Yes. Anything I should know about? Is he dog cussing me? It's usually what happens. I'm surprised John doesn't dog cuss me. Because of the fact that, well, I'm just hard to pin down. Just pure and simple. Hard to pin down. I think when John and me were supposed to have a show, I completely forgot about the show. Well, 10. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I just made the 10. Okay. 2 10s. 0.10. Now, realistically, let's minus the 300. I'm still down 180. I lost 200. So now I'm down 380. Instead of me trying to get ridiculous on the 6 and 8, I'm going to pull. And here's where it's going to get dangerous. This is literally the definition of what I tell you guys is the most dangerous gambit in there, which is the 4 and 10. Which I'm sitting here going crazy on a 10 odds on 10, which my 10 odds would have been 600. I would have made that bet. But you don't think about what could have happened, you think about the worst that can happen. So I wanted to mitigate the risk of putting $600 in the dome and just have 200 just to say we're going to take a stab at 10 because I'm still in my profit. But now I'm on a second point. It's a 9. I feel pretty good about it. Let's just see what happens. 7 out. So right here, this is exactly what I'm down in the whole gamut. Sorry, now I can erase this BS. I can erase this BS. I can cross out this BS. This is off. I'm gonna go ahead and take it. I'm like, take it down! Take it down, please. Boom, 300. Boom, 75. And boom, to the last one. So you see how, and even though it's like the amounts are getting bigger with Charlie, like Charlie, your amounts are getting so big. I'm like, they are getting big, but in the way in which they're getting bigger is just a little bit different from what people are normally used to. I'm grabbing a 500 chip. I can't believe I'm using a Budweiser chip. Right there. So, once again, that was intense betting. I think we can all agree, very intense betting. So, anytime you do intense betting, first thing you do, let's check this bankroll. 4,000, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 950, or 9,500, 2, 4, 5. That's 10,000. Which is beautiful because now I know I'm going to kill myself. I'm not going to kill myself. All right, so now I know everything in this route is $10,000. So I know this is my profit. So let's see here. 1, 2, 300, 400, 430, 440. Let's just say 445. So in that run, since the last time I checked it, which was a lot more betting, a lot bigger betting, it didn't do anything. $40. Just had a cover neck. Hopefully y'all didn't hear that. The issue is, right, okay, well, so the last time I checked, damn dude, I didn't make any money. Like, I kind of muddled the water there the entire time. Which is true. I did muddle the water. So in your mind, you're like, oh, I guess I need to press it. I only made 40 bucks in that leg of the thing. You're like, no. I'm going to see here. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, that's a good representation of that, so I have to do that. What I'm saying is, in that moment, that is a temperature gauge, okay? What is it saying? Hey, man, nothing's really working right now. Take a bit, take a minute, take a knee, drink some water, hydrate, think about your life, and just coast. Now, when you say coast, what does that mean? Check out the rolls. See what happens. 9. All right, points at 9. Let's go back to, hey, let's go back to where the good old days was. You remember them days? Remember the good days? $30, 6 and 8, $90 odds on the 9. And we're just going to see how she goes. She has blows. Now, I never thought about it. Never thought about that with so much more risk involved. It's not much more than nickel and diming. It is nickel and diming. It's 100% nickel and diming. Your nickel and dime might be bigger than some people's nickels and dimes, but you know what? Oddly enough, all guys still like each other. So don't feel bad if your nickel and dime isn't someone else's. Just appreciate that you're getting some nickels and dimes. Second roll was a 3, did nothing. Got 11 and a 3, some outside numbers did never help me. Oh, 9. Okay, here we go again. So, boom, 9 got made. I'm going to go ahead and turn these off. $90 lost. Bring this to right here. And we're going to do $95 just straight on the dump. Okay? We're good now. Fat 6. I don't like being $90 on a 6, but you know what? For the live. I mean, your profit would have been about the same without as much risk. It's exactly right. Sometimes those big numbers like that, they just don't go anywhere. You muddle. When I say muddle, you just tread water. I'm going $95, Charlie. Okay, well, there's 100, and I'll take 5. Charles. Boom, working. Let's put that up there. All right, 6. Look at that. It can't happen. Pays 35. Press it by $6. Doll hairs. Turn off. Click the $30 back. Right there in that one hit, I already made more than I did in those bigger hits. But those bigger hits were recovery. It's a lot of recovery. First 10 thrown. The little things. 5 does nothing for the guys. I'm actually doing nothing right now, so it doesn't really matter. 3 just for me. 6 on the sticks for the dicks. And we're going to see. And then we're going to see boop. And we're going to Is 6 a number? Is 6 a number? No. But 9. Now hold on now. 9? You know what? I'm feeling froggy. We'll put $90 on 9. Oh wait, I'm not. You know why? Because not one shooter has made more than 3 points. Like, you should be terrified of putting money on 9. I ain't doing it. I'll put $6. That's how much you're going to pry off in the casino. Because somebody in here is going to pick up some dice and roll at least 3 points. Statistically, we're at that point. So you're not going to tell me that after 10, 15, 20 shooters, the most we've gotten to is 2 points. Like, probability is probability. And when I say that, it means that that train called 7 points on a don't player is coming. You don't know when, you don't know where, you don't know how, but by God, that murder train is on its way. So don't sit here and fret. Don't get crazy, you know? Like, oh man, pro craps. I was just talking about how pro craps does not like me. I was like, you know, there's just no, oh, excuse me. I lied, craps. That's not what I said. I said, I don't know why he likes me because I am the worst person ever. Like, I just don't, I'm just fickle. I'm a fickle person. I can't even believe I'm saying that. Fickle. I'm like trying to catch air. Trying to catch air with your bent hands. All right, point made. So you see what I was telling you about. Like that train called multiple points, it's on its way. And I'm here to say, ooh, 5. All right, now I got 5. It's the third point. Now, even though I'm saying watch out for the train, watch out for making multiple points. Oh my God, I'm sober. No wonder my thoughts are so clear. Just because we're making, I think the train of points are coming, does not mean that I'm still not going to capitalize on, you know, being smarter. So I'm down $6. You know what? Third point with a 5. Man, let's put 60 out there, man. I got some time now. I got the power. I got the bankroll, and we're sitting here gonna make it. You know, like, you know, 60 bucks. Would I put $30 there on a $5,000 bankroll? Yes, I would. So why wouldn't you put $60 there on a $10,000 bankroll, right? This makes complete sense. It's not proportional, but by God, it's double. Which, you know, that's something. 8 for the great state of Georgia. I know, such a statist. Deuce. 1-1 for the one time. 1 plus 1 is equal 3 if you're an accountant. That's a 33, a smokeless 33, or the flying V if you're a Mighty Ducks fan. 7! I love yelling 7 just for the fact that no one yells 7. You know, it's usually 7 now. Like I'm done. Petrified, mortified, stupefied by you. Alright, 60 pays 40. Feeling pretty good about that. Lost 6, made 40. $34 profit right there on a shooter I didn't even want to play with. But guess what? I'm still telling you guys, that was 2 points lost in the third. I don't know, man. That murder train's still coming. I just know it. 8, that's $35 lost, or $60 that I would have saved if it came out with 7. 7, just kidding. It gave me more of a time to think about it, so I can turn it back on. All right, cool. I'm involved now. I'm here. 7! Cool. All right, so $60 lost, plus that, 66 on the floor. Don't worry, guys. There is a remedy for this. You know what it is? You keep giving them money. $60, 6 and 8. She's working, guys. She's working. By God, she's got 2 kids at home, Monique and Unique, and she's just trying her best. I'm trying my best. All right, 7 will come out. $6, 6 and 8. That's an 8. Here's what we can eat. That's it. We're going to McDaniels. All right, paid 70, I lost 66, so I made $4 even off the implied $6 press that I gave. I'm going to stay here and say drop one of them, split the diff, still keep it off, go to an 8, be less conservative. Just kidding, be more conservative. You're like, dang, 8, come out 7s. Like this entire rip, if you notice, this is a great video. Hopefully, I'm still streaming. Usually when I do these great videos, my phone has died or I forgot to hit record. So I'm just like, oh God. This is a great representation. Like, if you've noticed in the conversations that we've had in this very limited time, I have had multiple come out 7s, multiple points made. I mean, these things are happening at a bigger and bigger frequency, but it's not about that, you know, you're like, oh, Charlie, I've watched your videos and nothing ever goes wrong in your videos. I'm like, no, things go wrong all the time. It's how you approach them. Now, I know that my general aloofness might seem that like, oh, he's doing nothing. But it's just because, once again, I spent 17,000 years doing repetition by rolling dice and doing this, like, all right, what happens if this happens? What happens if this happens? What happens if this happens? So, if you think about it, it's just because I've just done it for a while. First, 4th round. That's it. But the reason why, and KG brought it up, the reason why I talk so much is, number 1, I talk a lot. I mean, let's just get that right out of the rip. But the reason why I do is because I'm trying my best. And the reason why this channel is called Drunk Guy Explains is because that's a 4. I'm going to call that 4. Wouldn't matter if it was an 8. I wouldn't lose anything or make anything. But the reason why I do is because I know that I am inept at explaining to y'all my system. Why? Because, I don't know, I'm stupid. Just plain and simple, stupid. But I figure, just like how I learned, that by pure repetition, and me going through my process, that you guys can be like, all right, I can piece together kind of what he talked about, maybe. I'm like, thanks, guys. Once again, indicated right here, one of the worst situations you can get yourself into is this situation right here. Nothing's happened, don't worry. But this is it. This is how the perfect formula to brew disaster. I got 130 right here, $60 out there. I put the 130 out because I was lazy and I didn't want to sit here and put reds out, but guess what? Sit here and think more about it, but you're not lazy. Put that, come on, man. Put that out there, and right now, 3 rolls. And this is the hard part, because if you get a repeater, which does happen, it turns into utter disaster. 1-4 and 1-10 thrown, first roll, second roll, talk to me. 5, third and final roll, talk to me. 5. This comes off. Reduce this to $20. Kick back that $100 chip. And let it go, man. Like, there's just no 7. Boom, $10. And just stress-free the whole way. Stress-free the whole way. Turn her on. By God, man. Come out 7s can't happen forever. 9, you already know, guys, it's once again a pure clockwork, which is going to be $90. 6 and 8 going for 3 rolls. Where's the dice? There it is. Whew. 7 now. I lost 60, right? Well, 90 pays 60. Easy way, 3 reds, pay 2 reds, 3 greens, pay 2 greens. Look at that. Simple math. And I'm actually going to check, where's my, oh. I'm going to check the clock real quick because I only have such a limited time to be doing these. So I want to sit here and make sure that I leave enough time for the Q&A afterwards. What was my Q&A last hour was like 25 minutes. So I got about 30 minutes left. So, all right, actually, let me make sure. Sorry, guys. I know. I'm just checking the battery. 14%. Okay. So, charger will not reach. So, I guess that's it for this. So I can plug in the charger and go to the Q&A. Now, this ran a little slow. Actually, the table ran a little slow. I ran a little slow. You know, like I said, we're practicing, but I also, even though I'm practicing for my casino visit tomorrow, I do want to let y'all know, like, it's still a training session, but it's me training. Obviously, I know what's going on. I haven't forgotten everything, even though that's one of my biggest fears, just to Alzheimer's, dementia in my brain will right out of existence by being pickled. So let's just start with the easy stuff. 5, 10, that's $10. That's $25. I love doing it like this because I feel like in my mind it breeds suspense in the bankroll. You know? Like, I don't know why. I just always feel like, yeah, make it good. And also, I'm a very big proponent. Like, I don't splay these chips out for my own gratification. I'm splaying the chips out because I always, once again, when I see people, YouTubers, whatever you want to call them, that's $125. When I see YouTubers, there's a couple things that I watch out for. What I watch out for is, number 1, is it pre-recorded? Pre-recorded means I can screw this up 17 different ways and just post the whatever the best video look like. And I don't like that. So, second, do you see the dice the entire time? Could they switch out for different dice? This is just my paranoia coming out. Hopefully you guys understand. So, you know, are they using the same dice? Are the dice leaving the frame? Are there cuts in live? Are there certain instances, like there was a YouTuber, I'm not going to say his or her name, but there's one that literally threw a bet and they said, well, in my mind, that doesn't count. That's other stuff. I'm like, mother trucker, if that don't loses, that loses. That's just me, but, you know, I digress. All right, so I don't have any more 1,000 chips, so don't worry about that. So let's start out with what I made and what I had. So 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 8,000, 9,000, 95, 10,000. So I'm just going to do this. Waste of time. So what did I make? Get out of here. Waste of time. Get out of here. Waste of time. What did I make today in today's sessions while talking and jar jacking? And this was not a good session. I know what you think it is. It was not a good session. It was tragic. It was a multitude to come out sevens, stuff like that. So realistically, in the scope of this, I love it because it shows so much dynamic shift in the points made versus come out sevens versus your loss. I love it. This is like this is truly a really great session to base stuff out of. Like, it was clear, it was singular, I stayed on point, good go. So today I made $532. Now, I'm $470 off my 20% goal. But once again, just like life, just like the casino, just like anywhere else, like I had limited time, limited battery, this is what I could do. So don't say, oh, I came out of this session and I was down 470. No, you're not down 470, you're up 530, man. Like, and that means 530. Take a tick, take a minute, take a breath, go enjoy lunch, take a nap, you know, mill around the casino knowing they have to convince you to gamble because I've already made my money. And that's how you need to treat it, you know? All the good stuff. Now, understand if you're still watching this, there probably is only 2 people watching right now, but I am immediately going to get offline flip the camera, come back online, and have a Q&A session about this session. So if you got more questions and concerns, I'm literally just gonna finish this out saying, hey, this is based on the last craps video I did. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I don't know how to do it, but yeah. All right, see, cool. Glasses. Always gotta have glasses. Because I'm getting old, getting blind, losing my mind. 15 people watching. Good on you guys. Thanks, Charlie. A win's a win. Heck yeah. All right, we're gonna sit here. Oh yeah, I gotta do my kind of. Hey guys, it's Charlie from Junk Guy Explains. I check you guys next time. In 2 seconds, but next time.